The Trumpification of the Kennedy Center.
A power grab or a cultural coup?
Could the Kennedy Center soon be known as the Donald J. Trump Center for the Performing Arts? This provocative question arises as a new piece of legislation, dubbed the Make Entertainment Great Again Act, has been introduced in Congress, specifically targeting the iconic John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts located in Washington, D.C. On July 23, Republican Representative Bob Onder from Missouri presented this bill, which proposes to rename the striking cream-colored structure to honor Donald J. Trump. Since its inauguration in 1971, the Kennedy Center has become a national beacon for the arts, showcasing countless performances across its 7 stages. Discussions about renaming this esteemed venue after President Trump began in February, coinciding with his appointment as chairman of the center's board of trustees. In a statement from Onder's office, it was noted that since he was elected as chairman of the Kennedy Center's board of trustees, President Trump has been working to preserve the integrity of the fine arts by ending woke programming and rebalancing the Kennedy Center's $234 million budget, which had normalized operating in the red. This assertion raises eyebrows and invites scrutiny. Onder further emphasized Trump's cultural significance, stating, "You would be hard-pressed to find a more significant cultural icon in the past 40 years than President Trump. His love and mastery of entertainment have stood the test of time, capturing the attention of Americans for decades." However, the Kennedy Center has yet to provide any official comment on this matter. The claims regarding the management of the Kennedy Center's budget have been contested by its former president, Deborah Rutter. In a statement released in May, she expressed her concern over what she described as false allegations made by individuals lacking the necessary context or expertise to grasp the complexities of nonprofit and arts management. Recently, Republicans voted as part of the One Big Beautiful bill to allocate $257 million for the enhancement of the Kennedy Center, but with a stipulation: significant funds would be withheld unless the Opera House is renamed in honor of Melania Trump, the former First Lady. In a passionate response on social media, Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of John F. Kennedy, voiced his disapproval of the proposed renaming, stating, "The Trump administration stands for freedom of oppression, not expression. He uses his awesome powers to suppress free expression and instill fear. But this isn't about the arts. Trump is obsessed with being bigger than JFK, minimizing the many heroes of our past, as if that elevates him. It doesn't. But there's hope. Art lasts forever, and no one can change what JFK and our shared history stands for." Ultimately, the effort to rename the Kennedy Center after President Trump, or its Opera House after Melania Trump, may conflict with the laws that establish the institution. The guidelines state that after December 1983, no additional memorials or plaques shall be designated or installed. Furthermore, the Make Entertainment Great Again Act is anticipated to face significant challenges in garnering enough support in Congress to pass. What do you think about this potential renaming? Is it a fitting tribute or an unnecessary politicization of a cultural landmark? Share your thoughts in the comments. Renaming Kennedy Center violates law. Trump and Melania proposal. Imagine a world where the iconic Kennedy Center, a symbol of American arts and culture, is suddenly renamed after a former president and his wife, despite a law that explicitly prohibits such a change. This is exactly what's happening in Washington, where House Republican proposals aim to rename the Kennedy Center after President Donald Trump and its Opera House after First Lady Melania Trump. But here's the catch. This move would be a direct violation of the law that created the center in the first place. The law, which was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964, states that no additional memorials or plaques can be designated or installed in the public areas of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts after December 2, 1983. This means that any attempts to rename the center— and this is the part most people miss— the Kennedy Center was originally built as a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy, and renaming it would be a significant departure from its intended purpose. The proposal to rename the Opera House after Melania Trump was introduced by GOP Representative Mike Simpson of Idaho, who claims that it's a way to recognize her support for the arts. However, this move has been met with criticism from many, including President Kennedy's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, who argues that the Trump administration stands for freedom of oppression, not expression. But what's even more controversial is the fact that the Trump administration has already shown a great interest in the arts, with the president naming himself the Kennedy Center chairman and firing the previous bipartisan board of trustees. He has also replaced the veteran president, Deborah Rutter, with his White House special envoy and former ambassador to Germany, Rick Brunel. The Trump administration has also ordered different programming at the center, including the removal of all references to diversity, equity, and inclusion from its website. And if that's not enough, the center has also removed a bronze bust of President John F. Kennedy from its public spaces and replaced it with 4 large portraits of the first and second couples. The question on everyone's mind is, can the Republicans really get away with this? Legally, they can't just slap Melania Trump's name on the Opera House without congressional action. If Republicans can't pass their budget, the renaming provision dies. The only real wild card is whether Trump or his allies ignore the law entirely and try to do it unilaterally. But that would have no legal basis and would almost certainly trigger a court fight. So what do you think? Should the Kennedy Center be renamed after President Donald Trump and his wife? Or is this a blatant attempt to override the law and disregard the center's original purpose? Let us know in the comments. As we delve deeper into this controversy, it's essential to consider the potential implications of such a move. Would it be a fitting tribute to the Trumps? Or would it be a disservice to the legacy of President John F. Kennedy? The answer, much like the proposal itself, is still up for debate. Tune in to Hallie Jackson now at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for more on this story and join the conversation. The Make Entertainment Great Again Act, introduced by Representative Bob Onder, RMO, aims to rename the whole center the Donald J. Trump Center for Performing Arts. While this proposal may seem like a bold move, it's essential to examine the potential consequences of such a change. Would it be a positive step forward for the arts? Or would it be a step backward? The Opera House, with over 2,300 seats, is the center's second-largest theater and hosts the institution's signature annual concert for cultural honorees, the Kennedy Center Honors. This event has always been a celebration of the arts, and renaming the Opera House could potentially alter its significance. As we move forward, it's crucial to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. The First Lady's office has expressed gratitude for the proposal, but others, like President Kennedy's grandson, have voiced strong criticism. The question remains, what's next for the Kennedy Center? Will the Republicans be able to push through their proposal, or will the law stand in their way? One thing is certain, this controversy is far from over, and we can expect a heated debate in the coming days. So stay tuned and join the conversation. What are your thoughts on this proposal? Do you think the Kennedy Center should be renamed, or should it remain a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy? Let us know in the comments.